So Julian is 29 years old. So when he finished school at 21, we started thinking, okay, this is a huge milestone in his life. So we started thinking about it when he was 19, at least 2 years of what could happen. And employment didn't show up in his life after school. So that was frightening, because filling up Julian's life every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours without employment became really hard. So we started thinking of how to get there. And we started thinking before he graduated from school, and we saw what resources were there. There's a lot of things that I didn't know at that time, and I wish I had known them. Maybe I would have done things a bit different. And employment was important because as adults, we need employment. It's a big piece of our puzzle in our life. My husband always has said that the best thing that I have is that I have had a vision for Julian as an adult since he was born. And that being part of the community, having a valued role, be whatever age he was, age appropriateness, an age role that is his role, has been always there. So when employment started sort of appearing at the school level, and it was with the volunteer hours and the co-op placement. We had moved to Toronto 4 years ago, so understanding that that was in the system was very important. So the volunteer hours, one day I went to school and all the kids had 40 hours of volunteers, and Julian's name wasn't in the list, although he had done some volunteer work. So I called the school and I said, Julian is not in the list. Oh, so they apologized, and next day Julian was in the list. When co-op placement came, I said, okay, we want co-op placement for Julian, and that was 3 years before graduating. And they said, okay, we'll put the special education team to be part of that. And I said, yeah, and please add whoever is the co-op person in the school. He was in a Catholic high school, so because she knows about employment. The people in special education doesn't know about employment. So they did agree on that. So she was part of Julian's part. And we as a family did a person-directed planning with Julian and understood what he liked and the possibilities. We looked as a family in our network what those possibilities were, and Air Canada Center became an opportunity. We managed to open the doors there, and we sent the school to sort of open the doors for a co-op placement there. And eventually, when Julian, he was there a year and a half. He did another co-op placement within the Catholic school system, which was good, but it was a very small place, not a lot of people that Julian would have contact. So when he did the co-op placement at Air Canada Center, it became a really good experience. He had the support from the school, and as soon as he finished school in 2008, I knocked the door on his boss, and I said, okay, Julian has finished. What would you consider having him employed here? And that's how he started working in Air Canada Center, which becomes Maple Leaf Entertainment. And he's been there for the last 9 years. He's a part-timer, and he doesn't work every day, so we have put a lot of other interest in Julian around employment. He loves doing videos. He loves everything that has to do with music. So we have also had the opportunity to put him in the office of my son or his brother, who is a movie producer. So he has an office space there. He has mentoring around that. And the latest achievement that he had was that he released one of the videos that is A World for All, which is a video that shows him working in Maple Leaf Entertainment.
My son is 42, so.
But he's got full-time employment.
Yeah, Kirby has a full-time job every Friday afternoon is one of the things he loves to say. He works at a gym. every Friday afternoon faithfully. But back when he was younger, when he was in high school, we lived in the country. We lived in a rural community where kids worked every summer. If you didn't work on the farm, you worked somewhere in the village, or you babysat. So by the time he was 15, he was looking to do the same as what his older brother did. Kevin went out and worked every summer for a farmer. We didn't think that was going to work very well for Kirby, but with some help from our local community living association in Pembroke, ended up talking with the township employers, people in the municipality, and they agreed that he could do a placement there that summer, provided he had some support. And he got paid, just the same as everybody else, at the student rate. He thrived on it. He loved, Kirby is an outdoor person. So he was out brushing, and one of his biggest thrills was breaking open a beaver dam that was blocking a road and flooding it. Oh, that was the highlight of his summer. So he worked all summer. We worked very closely to make sure that he had the support to go there and to get him there. But it worked very well for him. And Kirby has a pretty good attitude towards work. He doesn't want to work as a volunteer very often because, you know, Mom, we don't get paid. So pay is very important to him. Money is a challenge for him, but he knows that he can buy things with money. So he's always had a good attitude for things like that.
Getting things that are passionate to the kids is so important. And one of the things that I heard from you, and now that I am doing a learning curve in employment, is that in the summer, statistically, we know that a kid that has done some employment during his school years is much more likely to have employment after school. We didn't know that when Julian was there. So we never really pursued on the summer for him to work and things like that because it wasn't in our culture, I guess. It wasn't in our lifestyle. But if I had known better, I would have done like you did. Yeah. So summer employments become really good for these kids. And the summer employment is not about your interest. It's about what is available, because it's about making money, yeah, for those kids. So the reasons are the same as the other kids. Co-op placement is much more about exploring passions.
I would think the starting point for parents is to expect that their son or daughter is going to go to work. If you don't expect that they're going to go to work, they're going to pick up on that. And why should they?
And let me add something up, that we expect them to work not in specific things, like not washing dishes, in what they really want to do in their life. Yeah. That's really strong. And that really changed me a lot, because when Julian was born, I said, he will work in, and I will sort of tell you what he would work. It didn't work. Yeah. Now I know that he has to be consulted, and that his voice, as you were saying with your son, it's valuable. Yeah.
And the one thing I've learned with our son is he has a very hard time expressing his thoughts, maybe even not just expressing, but even really knowing what those things are that you're asking of him. So when he loves McDonald's. So of course everybody always says to him, maybe you'll get a job at McDonald's. So I sat down one day and listed all the possible things you could do at McDonald's. Well, the thought of any of those he hated, every single one of them. So although he loves McDonald's, there's no way he would want to do any of those jobs. So I think it's not only, you'll see their passion and interest, but you really have to dig deep sometimes into what that really means. Mm-hmm. So it's further than that. Like it's really knowing them.
But I think you were saying something that I believe is very important, is that start early.
Yes, and
it's
starting
fabulous
early.
To start early thinking about that when they are even new, like 4 or 5 years old. We give them a lot of tools about self-determination, about independence. at the different levels, but we make them grow into eventually being with the responsibilities of an employer, yeah.